Elder Clayton, you are serving right now on the church's Public Affairs Committee. If there's ever been a time that it would be interesting to serve on the church's Public Affairs Committee, it would have to be today. What are you learning through all of that, and what can you teach us that you think we as members ought to know about how to represent the church in this moment where there is increased scrutiny and increased interest?
A wonderful question, and one that we give a lot of attention to. In the Public Affairs Department particularly, the staff there, the people who are working there, are working probably harder than they ever have because of the number of inquiries that the church gets, but they come by the hundreds instead of by the dozens. It's a new world entirely for the church. Some things are the same as they've always been. The church is respected by some and hated by others, and I'm not sure that'll ever change. Our duty, though, to tell our story ourselves and not to let it be told by others for us, I think, is one of the clear lessons that we're learning. Learning how to tell that story in a way that is not defensive and is true to the things that we know to be true is something that takes practice. It doesn't come naturally and easily to everybody, and so people need to work on it. We need to work on it. I need to work on it. And I think members at home can learn something. Before Kathy and I were married, I was a guide at Temple Square, and I had the last tour on Saturday night. It was a really fun thing to do. This was when we were dating. Kathy would come with me. I remember a lot of the things I was taught. How tall is the temple? How thick are the walls? When was the assembly hall built? All those kinds of things. I was told to do two things. Number one, be well informed, and number two, be friendly. And that seems like good advice to me still. We ought to know our stuff. We ought to know what we believe and what we don't, and not let people tell us what we believe. We'll say what we believe when the opportunity is right. And when we don't want to push or force our message on anyone, but we want to tell our message when we're invited to do so and when it's opportune to do so in a way that is attractive and fair from every point of view. So one of the things I'm learning is, just like in my law practice, you get the facts, learn as much as you can, and then state them in a fair and brief and clear way. I think that's a message that's helpful to everybody. The second part of that is be friendly. We'll do a lot worse than to simply be great people. If we're good people and good Christians, that's about as helpful a tract as we can possibly take with us anywhere that we go. Just be nice. There's a lot of virtue in being nice.
What one thing would you tell us as members of the church to do to be well prepared? Because I think when you're well prepared, it's almost easier to be friendly because you're not worried that you're going to stumble or say something that isn't right or handle something inappropriately. Do you have any tips or any counsel?
Well, yes, I do, and there's a little scripture that comes to mind too. If ye are prepared, ye shall not fear. There's a message in that. One of the things I think people can do that is tremendously helpful is to look at the newsroom on LDS.org and just become informed a little. It doesn't take a lot of time to read what there is there, and that single thing I think will help people a lot. And then take time to become acquainted with Mormon messages and with I'm a Mormon, because there are wonderful things that people can use and spread and share that are friendly and helpful and will help people learn how to share our message. Just watch a few of those Mormon messages. Watch a few of the I'm a Mormon recordings. People will get a feeling for how to do it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I had a thought to that.
Please.
Often when we are out and about in various parts of the world for various kinds of devotionals, my husband will invite those in the congregation to ask questions, and he'll spend the whole of the time responding to those questions. And it's been really quite stunning to me and illustrative to watch how sometimes he'll be asked questions that he just unapologetically responds, I don't know the answer to that question. And he doesn't do it with any kind of embarrassment or shame or regret. And actually there's really a powerful sermon in the peace that he feels in not knowing everything. I think we can have a lot of confidence in who we are and what we are without feeling we need to know everything. And then I think we don't need to feel nervous about then doing some homework and investigation and seeing if we can acquaint ourselves better with with some information that we didn't have previously, so that the next time we'll know a little more. But we don't need to be defensive or apologetic about not having all the answers, and there's no shame in saying we don't know.